Good day, everyone, and welcome to the National Real Estate Post here once again with our dear friend Barry Habib. But Barry, before we get started, I have to do some housekeeping items, right? I got to let everybody know about Loan Tech. Don't forget Loan Tech. They're going to help you organize your online leads better than anybody. Oh, by the way, Listing Booster users, you are now connected to Loan Tech, and guess what? You get Loan Tech for free for a year if you give us a call and sign up for it, where your leads will come into Loan Tech, they'll be organized, and they'll even be dripped on through Loan Tech. So hello, Loan Tech, a great thing to use, great thing to get on. Click the Loan Tech banner you see right here over on your right. We'll get you guys started there. So with that, we've got Barry Habib on the line again. As usual, great to have you here as always. Barry, how are you doing today?
I'm great, brother. How are you? Sounds like people should get on Listing Booster.
Listing Booster and Loan Tech combined, they're just really powerful. So anyway, you recently had the opportunity to speak at the Strategic Investment Conference in Dallas. And we were chatting a little bit earlier, and there's some really interesting things that came out of this conference that I think would be really beneficial for our viewers to hear, pertaining to real estate, particular stocks, treasuries, and then even some anti-aging information, which I think they're going to find very interesting. Why don't you let us know your takeaways from this conference down in Dallas where you spoke?
Yeah, it was amazing. So first off, what an honor for me to speak amongst some of the brightest minds in the world economically. You know, people that formerly worked at the Fed like Richard Fisher and Danielle DiMartino, and individuals that manage just billions of dollars, you know, Lacey Hunt, John Malden, who puts on this conference. And it was really kind of like taking information through a fire hose. So I was very pleased that many of these bright minds agreed with some of the takes that you and I have been talking about, and certainly that we've been telling our subscribers at MBS Highway. So let's start off with real estate. You know, we've been a big bull on real estate. Man,
right.
Last week, you know the numbers that came out, just crushing it. Real estate looks like a great investment. We think we're going to see another 6%, 6.5% year-over-year appreciation in real estate. You know, think about what that would mean for wealth creation for your customers. You know,
Huge.
And you know, we have to really be smart on this stuff, Frank, because think about the mindset of a borrower right now. They're shopping for a home, not a lot of inventory, right? So they're going to settle for something. It's not really what they want, they settle for it. Okay, and then they say, okay, well, all my negotiations stripped from me. I've got to offer full price. They do all that on a home that they really isn't perfect for them. And then they find out they got to go over asking price because somebody else got a bigger offer. And, you know, they could fall apart. Then they see these stupid commercials on TV for like apartments.com where they show renters dancing around how they've got freedom. They show a guy with a 30-year mortgage in the stockade showing how bad that is, right?
Yeah.
So what we have to do is we have to keep them focused, keenly focused on the amazing opportunity. And everything we've talked about in the past, as well as all these brilliant people, agree with our take on this, that real estate is one of the places to be. So I'll tell you what they don't like. Some of the things that we don't like, too. We don't like the stock market. You know, we've talked about that. We haven't seen the stock market roll over, but there's a lot of signals here. Lower lows, declining earnings, some trouble spots. So all these bright minds are saying, hey, you know, they'd be very defensive or shorting the stock market. Now, a lot of them shorting the U.S. stock market. And, you know, here's the funny thing. The world's upside down. I mean, think about what's going on here. People are investing in bonds, not because there's a yield out there, but because they think there's capital appreciation. Because they agree with me. They think rates are going to come down, and by coming down, the price of the bond appreciates significantly, and that's where you make your money. That's good news for us in the business. Stocks, they don't like stocks, but the ones that are higher yield, they're not doing it for capital appreciation. So they're buying stocks for yield and bonds for capital appreciation, the exact opposite of what normally would happen. 40% of the world's debt, 40% negative interest rates.
Wow.
So I don't know if it's coming here. I don't know if the Fed can legally do negative interest rates, but there's a lot of room to the downside. So if you think about this strategically, long bonds, long 10-year treasury notes, long mortgage-backed securities, from an investment standpoint. But the other aspect of this too is, what does this mean for us? I mean, should we be at least considering adjustables? Because there's a refinance opportunity down the road. Should we at least consider no closing cost mortgages? Certainly no points. Don't invest the money up front. You won't have enough time to get it back. There'll be a refinance opportunity before you recover those costs.
You've been saying lately that you believe there's going to be another recession as well. Were those thoughts confirmed down there?
Almost universally.
Wow.
Almost universally. Now, certainly there's a couple of outliers there, but there's a gentleman, Charles Gabe, who's really, really well respected. He thinks that we're in for not just a recession, but a big bear market in stocks. A bear market is down 20% or more. he thinks that we could see maybe greater than 50% drop in the stock market. Look, it's always tough to call these things. So on stage, he didn't want to. He didn't want to.
Sure.
When, but the question is when, right? So I cornered him in the green room. You know me, So I cornered him in the green room. I was a bit relentless, but he thinks. He told me this, that certainly within the next 12 months he sees this happening.
Wow.
So just look. All I'm going to say is this: I'm playing it a little bit defensively. Maybe you should have some holdings that would benefit if the stock market goes down, things like UVXY or puts on the S&P. Just hedge yourself a little bit. Just play it smart. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't go long the stock market and go forget about things. Just think that this potentially is out there. It's an expensive market. Maybe you lighten up a little bit. Maybe you play a little bit on the short side just in case, because if you get a big drop, you'll make a lot of money on the opposite end. Just think wisely at this time. It's a dangerous period.
Okay, so to summarize here, based on this conference, things are holding true to what you've been saying lately. So we're looking, real estate still looks good, still looks strong, looking good there. We're looking at possibly rates even getting lower, which is just insane. And based on the fact that there could be a recession right around the corner, possibly within the next 12 months, based on this other gentleman's opinion.
He was seeing bear market within the next 12 months in stocks, but that would kind of maybe coincide with a recession.
Yeah.
Maybe I think next 12 to 24 months we could get there. I mean, look at the spread between the 10-year and the 2-year note. It's getting narrower and narrower. If the Fed hikes, 2-year note's going to rise, 10-year note's going to come down. It'll compress things and accelerate. It'll push us into recession more rapidly.
Okay, let's real quick. We don't have a lot of time left. What is this anti-aging thing that struck a nerve with you there?
Most exciting thing. I mean, geez, we're all going to live longer. There's certain supplements that are even out there now, things like Antiaging, proven to extend not just life expectancy, but health expectancy. Great supplement you could take. I started taking it right after the conference. But there are things out there that are just amazing. Things like, people with type 2 diabetes, they are proven to live longer. They outlive people by 4 to 5 years, and they found out why. It's because type 2 diabetes drug is called metformin, and this metformin is proven to extend life expectancy. So, just exciting stuff that's out there. There's another drug, rapamycin, that they give people for, donor rejection and cancer treatments and maybe lupus. This rapamycin extends your life expectancy, health expectancy, I should say, by 10 to 15%. And could you imagine another 10, 15 years that you could get, or 12 years, 8 years, whatever it is? I mean, just amazing stuff. Now, there's some side effects, but I'm just saying these are exciting things that are coming down the pipeline. And, Frank, if we could stick around long enough, we could be the beneficiary of some of this stuff when it finally comes out. There's another company
Interesting.
that I thought was really exciting. I sat down with the CEO of Nanovirusides, this guy, Gene Seymour, who's the CEO. This was so exciting for me. I'm into this stuff. I had some medical centers that I had where we did medical imaging.
Right. Yeah.
So I've always been interested in this area. But he's got things that will cure, they'll cure herpes, AIDS, it'll cure, the big one is shingles and Zika. I mean, you think about all of us who I had chickenpox. So
Yeah, me too.
Potentially we could have shingles down
Don't
the
want
road.
it. Yeah.
Don't want it. Really nasty, nasty thing. And it could last for months. Maybe it never goes away. It's awful. So painful. He applied it topically to people.
Really?
In hours, cured, hours. So what this is the way a virus works, you can't really kill a virus easily because it goes inside the cell. So this puts these like polymers, like fake cells in your body, and then it has these ligands which kind of draw the virus to those little kind of polymer cells. They enter those cells, they deliver their payload, but there's no response, so they just kill themselves.
Wow.
He can cure things like
That's
AIDS.
so fascinating, man.
It's amazing what is going on. And Nanovirusides, Gene Seymour was his name. I was just blown away by all this talk of what's going on. It's very, very exciting.
It's really, really interesting. And maybe if people would sign up for MBS Highway for the free trial and then they get hooked in, you might be talking a little bit more about that to your subscribers.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And a lot more good stuff too. So hopefully you guys will take us up on that.
Okay, yeah, I'll put a link down below to the MBS free trial. But we got to get out of here. We're running a little long, obviously. But what a great show and great information. So I really appreciate you coming onto the show and giving us that information again. And we'll catch up with you again real soon. How's that sound?
Thanks, brother. It's good to see you. Thanks, everyone.
All right, guys, leave your comments down below. Forward, share, and subscribe. We'll catch you later here at the National Real Estate Post. See ya.